What's up? How's it going? It's the boy Don Soyce in the morning or the evening, depending on where you are right now. So I'm coming back at you with a new video. It's gonna be What If Deku Had the Sharingan Part 2. So today I am, well, yeah, like I said, I'm doing What If Deku Had Sharingan Part 2. But so last video I actually asked you like two questions. First question was if you wanted me to do like an episode 1.5 about like me explaining how the Sharingan would work in MHA, or if you'd want like me to just explain it throughout the episode. But then I realized the only really big difference between like me transferring it to the Sharingan to MHA would be like in the abilities would be like how like the jutsu copying jutsu would be replaced by copying quirks, and that is pretty much the biggest difference, and am going to be explaining that later on in the episode, so just watch out for that. The second question I asked was if you wanted Susana or not, and I only got like one answer in the comments, but I only got like one vote in the comments, so it was just for yeah. So like I actually recently just discovered, like yesterday, I discovered that I have the poll function already. So I think a poll should be coming up about now. So go to that and vote for if you want Susana or not. And yeah, with that, let's get right into the video. Izuku had read up on the Sharingan the night his mom gave him the box of papers with information on the eyes. Inko told Izuku that the reason his dad left was related to the Sharingan. The reason he had Izuku run a lot as a kid was so he could run away from confrontations so he wouldn't be in a situation where he'd unlock a Sharingan. He read about the abilities of the eyes, the three stages of the Tomoe, which he knows aren't just weird prongs now, and that Uchiha usually have fire-based quirks, Uchiha being the bloodline with access to the Sharingan. Inko told Izuku that that was his father's family name, but for safety reasons he added his mother's family name. Among the papers, there are also depictions of martial arts and exercises meant for Izuku to train that would properly complement his Sharingan, though wouldn't be Izuku like flat out just learning a whole martial art, just like certain technique. Anyway, Inko answered anything she could about what she knew about his father's abilities. Deku then went to his room and studied the papers he was given until he passed out. Later the next day, he gathered his papers, and when it was time, he went to meet up with All Might, and he told his mom he was going out to train. His mom told him to be careful and try to keep his eyes as secret as possible. So, Deku met up with All Might, and when he asked if he sorted out why his eyes turned red, Deku decided he could trust All Might and told him what he learned the night before and showed him the papers he had gotten from his mom. All Might said that they should fit in time for technique training, but for now they'd start preparing for Izuku to inherit One for All and get into UA with strength training. So, All Might showed Izuku the beach he had to clean and told him that they do different exercises like normal push-ups and sit-ups, but he should try to keep up his Sharingan for as long as possible. Sorry. Now, the 10th month training arc began. Deku of course did the same training from canon, but did a little less running since he already done plenty throughout his life and his legs had been pretty built up over time. And he'd practice martial arts, to kind of fill out that time slot. And of course, he'd practice his martial arts that best complemented the analytic ability. Of course, like I said, not flat out learning a whole martial art. I already said this. So, while clearing the beach, Deku would sometimes maneuver through the trash like an obstacle course to practice his agility and quick, precise movement. He'd copy his mom's quirk at home, and in secret, copy the quirks of his classmates and use them under his desk, while walking to and from school or the courtyard. While walking to and from school or at the courtyard, my bad. To practice Genjutsu, which is what the Uchiha would still call their hypnotic ability, he had practiced on his mom and kids that he'd see walking home alone after school, making sure to erase their memory of him having powers. And you'd think that since he's really busy trying to master the Sharingan, become strong enough to become a vessel for All for One, and learn martial arts, that he wouldn't have time to study and would fall behind. But since he has the Sharingan, he's able to, read his textbooks fast enough and absorb information fast enough, so he'd be about as smart as his canon counterpart. So, after the 10 months of training, All Might had came to the beach to see that Izuku had finished cleaning the beach a day before the exams, getting it clean earlier than usual. Since he does have the Sharingan, I thought it would be like I thought it'd be fitting for him to, kind of like get it clean earlier. The Sharingan would have, like boost of strength, but I do kind of am like he copy quirks, for the certain, advantages. Though I didn't want to make it like too early that he finished it, but I did think that he would do it a little earlier. Anyway, as All Might saw this, he then exclaimed, "Holy stinkin' super crap!" As he caught me, and then he went to catch Midoriya, who would fall over from exhaustion. He then takes him to the side and shows him a picture of him from the start of training, compared to now, and says, "You've become a fine vessel for one for all, and even unlocked the two Tomoe," which he got during the extensive training. All Might then said those famous lines as he plucked out a piece of hair and gestured it to Midoriya. "Eat this!" Which he did. He then went home and got some rest, but after he used most of his time before the exams to try and gain control of One For All. The day then came to take the exams, and Izuku ran to the testing site, and when he got there he stood amazed to be in front of UA. But then Bakugo walked by and told him not to get in his way, which led to the two glaring at each other, Izuku being more irritated and prone to not take people's crap due to the influence of his Sharingan. Then distracted, as Izuku was walking he tripped, but before he hit the ground, starts to float. This led to him meeting the girl whose handiwork it was, a girl named Ochako Uraraka. He then thanked her and went to take his exams, blushing all the way, mind racing, thinking, "I talked to a girl!" Like said earlier, he's about as smart as the original, so he'd pretty much get the same score on the written test, but the only difference was that before the physical exam began, like the practical exam, when Ida is asking questions and then calls out Deku, he'd respond with, "You of all people can't talk about me being jittery," which made Ida shut up. Then the practice exam. Midoriya didn't try to talk to Ochako this time, but instead tried rearing up One For All on his arm, but decided to wait since he just got it, and he was sure they could take care of the bots in another way. He then went to his Sharingan, and when Mike told the students to start, he ran into action. He used his own strength, pieces of robots as weapons, and the quirks of other people to rack up points, and he did it without One For All. As he fought, he then heard a loud roaring sound. He then looked back and saw a huge robot and deduced it was the zero-pointer. He was prepared to run away like everyone else, but then saw the girl that saved him from dying earlier, trapped under rubble in the robot's path, and stopped in his tracks. He couldn't just let her get squashed. Then, without thinking, he charged up a smash and jumped up to the zero-pointer, knocking it down with one punch. No Saitama. He then began to fall, but as he saw a kid with an inflatable quirk as he fell, the kid bouncing close to see the commotion. He then looked at him, copied his quirk getting ready to bounce, but then, right before he made impact with the ground, he got slapped by Ochako that made him later. That caused him to kind of float away like a beach ball. As he bounced on the ground, he was able to steer himself towards Ochako, and then switch to her quirk, as when he fell from not having the bounce, he swung his left hand on a piece of rubble she was trapped under and was able to make it lighter. Now for a quick intermission to explain how the copying of the Sharingan works in My Hero Academia. Now, the ability to copy quirks would replace the ability to copy jutsu. The way it works here is that by looking at someone, Izuku can copy their quirk for a short period of time, and after the quirk wears off, he has a cooldown period. His ability to use that power and the strength of the copied quirk all depends on Izuku's own strength and also the practice that he would do by frequently copying a specific quirk. The time he puts into mastering it would carry over each time he copied it. Izuku can copy emitter quirks like explosions or half hot, half cold, and he can also copy transformation quirks like hardening or Shishida's beast form. However, he cannot copy mutations like Ida's engine, since that's a physical part of his body and he doesn't just grow them. But he could do something like copying Dark Shadow, but he couldn't copy Tokoyami's bird head. Well, now back to the story. Now that Izuku made the top piece of rubble that was on top of her lighter, Ochako was able to make some other pieces of rubble that were around her lighter and push them off. As Izuku lied on the ground, Recovery Girl then walked up to them, and he healed him and Naraka. Then the exams were over, and a week later, Izuku anxiously waited for his exam results. His mom then rushed into his room rushed towards him with an envelope in hand. He then took it to his room and ripped the envelope up, exposing a strange device that was able to cast a holographic projection. All Might then appeared on the projection and began. Hello, young Midoriya. Sorry I haven't been able to get in contact, but I've been trying to get comfortable at UA, at which I'll be teaching. No way, All Might at UA? All Might hologram then carried on. Midoriya, you were not only able to rack up practical points, but the judges for the exams were looking for a specific heroic trait. You showed that trait by rushing in to save a girl that was in danger from the zero-pointer and helped her out of the rubble. Selflessness, heroism, and self-sacrifice. You were awarded a different type of point. Izuku Midoriya, 65 rescue points. And while we're at it, Otago Uraka, 40 rescue points. My boy, you received the highest score of all applicants at the exams. Congratulations, UA is now your hero academia. Izuku, of course, bawled his eyes out to the news, and so did his mother when he told her about it. And if you're wondering why Izuku got more points and Ochako got less points, Izuku got more for making the rubble on Ochako lighter, and Ochako got less points because Izuku pretty much already had a way to cushion his fall. But they'd still both be rewarded with points, just a small little increase and decrease. The day after the exams, Izuku met up with All Might, and he congratulated Izuku on getting first place. Then it was time. Izuku finally was going to UA. When he did, he walked into his class, only to see Bakugo and Ida, to his chagrin. But then, Ida ran up to him and apologized for calling him out, thinking that he must have been taking the exams more seriously than he thought, and even to the point of seeing the true point of the exams, which Izuku denied knowing about. As this happened, Bakugo scowled at the sight of Deku, thinking about what happened after they both got accepted. Flashback. Bakugo cornered Izuku and grabbed him by his collar, and he barked, "What type of crap did you pull to get a higher score than me, bastard? Now, not only am I not the only one to go to UA, but you got first place!" Izuku just gripped Bakugo's arm as tight as he could and growled, "I'm not taking your crap, Katsuki. I got into UA through hard work and fair and square." He then pushed him out of the way and said, "Stay out of my way." As he walked off, after hearing that, Bakugo was just left stand there, stunned that Izuku would talk to him like that. End of flashback. As the students talked, Mr. Aizawa seemingly popped up out of nowhere. He then told everyone to shut up and suit up as they were going to the PE grounds. When everyone got there, he had Bakugo throw a ball with the use of his quirk, and then explained to everyone that they would be doing exercises, utilizing their quirks, and whoever got the lowest score would be expelled. They'd start with the meter dash. When it came to Bakugo and Midoriya's turn, Bakugo got into a stance where he would be prepared to use his explosions to propel himself, but as he did, Izuku then copied the stance exactly. Also, I do feel that it is useful to know that Izuku grew his hair out only enough so that he can cover his eyes when he wanted to. He kind of looks like the prototype version of Izuku. He has his hair, but kind of more shorter and more even. But yeah, and it would come in handy in situations like now where he would use his Sharingan. But anyway, when it was time to race, Both Izuku and Bakugo launched off the left leg, but when Izuku did, his leg glowed for a second as he mumbled, 3%. And he launched himself further than Bakugo was able to, and then used his explosion to propel himself like Bakugo was going to. But when he did, since he was farther than him, Bakugo got blasted in his face, and he got knocked back for a second. Their times were 4 seconds for Izuku, and Bakugo was 5. After the race, everyone was shocked to see that Izuku not only used Bakugo's quirk, but he's able to use it so well. The reason that he used it pretty well was because he had practice copying that quirk, and he was also able to, surpass Bakugo's speed and junk. Like, of course, with the power of, first of all, 3% burst was him still learning to control One For All. Though All Might did tell Deku that he thought his threshold would be about 8 to 10%. Not to mention, he would, win and outpace Bakugo thanks to the physical boost the Sharingan would give, along with helping him be more cute with quirks, kind of like how the Sharingan does with the Chidori in the actual Naruto. And of course, strength boost, but yeah. So, seeing Izuku use his explosions, Bakugo flipped out and was about to attack him, but Eraserhead just erased his quirk and wrapped him up in bandages. He then warned Bakugo, and for that matter everyone else, that if anyone pulled something like that crap, they'd be expelled on the spot. Then, they moved on to the other exercises, and for every one of them, Izuku requested that he could go last so he'd know which quirk to copy, and he'd have plenty of recharge time in between exercises. He'd then be able to take first place for all the tests by powering up the quirks and his strength using Sharingan, and also a burst for One For All after, copying quirk. Though he did tie with Ochako during the ball throw because, how do you go higher than infinity? Aizawa then congratulated Izuku after the test and said he wasn't actually going to expel anyone, and Momo then would say that she was surprised no one else caught on. Though Aizawa was planning on expelling someone though, and that was Izuku, thinking that he was too rash and couldn't use his quirk for long enough without hurting himself due to overreacting, but was pleasantly surprised to see a student with such promise. That's also one of the reasons that he would let Izuku go last for all the tests, because he was surprised to see such, the ingenuity in the problem solving, actually, being smart with his quirk. So, and he pleasantly surprised him because, he went beyond his expectations about what he initially thought about him. So, after the test, Izuku began to walk home, and then Ida cut up to him, complimenting him on his performance and taking first place, and also talking about Aizawa's teaching style. Then Ochako ran up to the two and walked, and then ran up to the two and walked with them. And while making introductions, she called Izuku Deku because she heard Katsuki Bakugo, because she heard Bakugo call him that. But to that, Izuku just sternly replied with, "That's not my name. Katsuki just calls me that to be a jerk." When she said that she liked the name though, Izuku then said, "I don't though. The name really annoys me, and I'm gonna just show him that he has no right to call me that, as I keep outdoing him." He had a determined look when saying that, and his Sharingan flashed for a moment, but it wasn't seen though. She then agreed not to call him that, and would stick to calling him Izuku, or calling him Midoriya, not knowing at first how much he resented the nickname, and the three then walked off. The next day during class, All Might appeared and told his students to suit up in their own specially made hero costumes, because today they were doing battle training. Alright, so that's the episode. Comment down below if you like that. Comment down below. Comment, like, subscribe, share, you know the drill. Turn on notifications, all that. Check out my other videos. And, I know there's something I had to say, but I forgot what I had to. Oh, yeah. I might be taking, like, a little bit, like, a week off. Normally, I try to, like, post in, like, 3 to 4 days. But, I don't know. I might take, like, a whole week off. I might not. because I like kind of do like to get up videos. But I probably might like take like a week to just like really like write a lot more right for these parts that I'm on, and I'm gonna like after this I'm gonna start production. I'm gonna start writing of part 5 for What If Naruto Killed Sasuke, which will not be like part 4. It won't be as bad because I don't really. I think I did part 4 weird, so I don't know. But I'm gonna try to make part 5 better, definitely. But yeah, with that, yeah, I might take the week. I'm pretty much gonna be, writing up on current scripts, and then recording the audio, and also writing up on future what ifs. I've got like 3 ideas already for future what ifs. I'm not just gonna like release them like that. After a few videos, after that week that I release after that week, I'm going to, after a little bit, I pretty much already know the first one that I'm gonna be releasing. I got 2 that I've already done some writing for, and then 1 I kind of like know the concept, but I kind of have to do some writing. And then there's like the decision of like if I'm gonna like kind of go along with the original story, but like tweak it, or if I'm like gotta do like brand new world building. So yeah, I'm just gonna like get to writing, and then get to making these thumbnails, blah blah blah, you know. But yeah, with that, well, have a good day, guys. Stay safe out there, and yeah, this is gonna be your boy Don Sois, Soicing out. Later.